Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler. How do I talk about this one without any spoilers? Well, it's a little difficult, so there will be some mild spoilers, I guess. So if you don't want to know anything at all about this movie, I'd suggest going off to watch it and then coming back to the video later. But Ryan Coogler's Sinners, directed by the guy that directed Creed and also Black Panther. I haven't seen either of those. You're more than welcome to leave your thoughts on those in the comments if you have any recommendations or any advice to stay away from them. But Sinners is basically, I think the best way to describe it might be Oh Brother, Where Art Thou meets From Dusk Till Dawn, or Crossroads meets From Dusk Till Dawn. Even The Colour Purple meets From Dusk Till Dawn. So in the same way that From Dusk Till Dawn was a bit of a Latino take on vampire lore, this one's an African American take on vampire lore. It does have all those really gritty, deep South, New Orleans sort of vibes. It starts out very much like a blend of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and a crime movie. A little bit of Crossroads thrown in, a little bit of The Colour Purple. And much like From Dusk Till Dawn, it turns into a fully fledged vampire flick later on. So the first half of the movie did remind me a lot of the Blues Brothers. We have two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, and they're looking to open a juke joint. Juke joint's basically a bar where people go to dance and eat, live music. Kind of seems to be kind of semi-legal, I guess. And this particular juke joint, they're opening in an old deserted slaughterhouse for some reason. And that becomes really appropriate later on. But this first part of the movie does play out a lot like the Blues Brothers. So they're very much getting the band back together, or getting the band together. So they're hunting down a bunch of the best players in the region that'll work for nothing. So you've got their their nephew, who, so he's the son of a preacher. He's just had a bit of a disagreement with his father, the preacher, who's warned him about the devil's music and so forth. So he's very much the Robert Johnson character of the movie. And Smoke and Stack basically recruit him to play in the juke joint. They also recruit a harmonica player and piano player. They recruit a bouncer, doorman. They recruit bartenders. They recruit some good chefs to feed the patrons. So it is, the first half does play out like a gangster / getting the band back together / Crossroads type movie, historical drama even. And then, needless to say, if you've made it this far, this will be another mild to medium to heavy spoiler. It does turn into a vampire film. So the cool thing about this one is it does playfully toy with the tropes of vampire lore. It kind of uses vampire lore as a metaphor for, I guess, the culture of the Deep South in the Jim Crow era. And African American history and so forth. So one of the heaviest themes is playing on the whole vampire lore of needing to be invited in. So that kind of has those echoes of segregated places where African Americans weren't allowed in. So the whole vampire lore of needing to be invited in kind of plays into that. But it is an unusual tack to take because the vampires, of course, once invited in, nothing good happens. So I don't know about the wisdom of using that as a metaphor for segregation. It's kind of a confusing little bit of social commentary, but at least they're trying social commentary. So that's Always extra points from me. You don't see a lot of social commentary in films nowadays. Usually you'll only see the safe, sanction kind of social commentary, so it is good to see a director taking some chances and swinging for the swinging for the fences. So all in all, it's a fairly cinematic movie, which is great. It feels like a movie. It doesn't feel like meaningless streaming content. And in short, it is a good one to check out. So if you haven't seen Sinners, fairly easy to find, fairly recent movie, and it does feel cinematic. So you could do a whole lot worse than checking this one out.